This script was written by a man, but directed by me through my lens. I've often and mostly seen this as two women deciding whether or not they want to be with Roger. What I love to talk about with these characters is that they've done the work, they're human, there are no villains, but there's still conflict because love is hard. It's not easy.
What I loved about the film from the beginning was that you get to see people talk about radical honesty and relationships in this film in a way that I hope more people get to see, especially Black people. We're kind of talking about polyamory in this film. André, when you portrayed Roger, what was it like to get to have these dynamic relationships with these two amazing actresses?
It was amazing. It's been a dream of mine to work with these folks, with Nicole, DeWanda, everybody. Like, we've all known each other for a very long time. But we haven't really had an opportunity to like get down on something together, at least not in a while. So it was a dream. And then being between these two fabulous people it's not an easy place to be, I tell you that.
It's not an easy place to be?
No, it's not. Y'all ain't easy.
I think a lot of male viewers are gonna envy Roger. I don't know.
I mean,
So, DeWanda, what was it like getting to portray a character who has all these moments of vulnerability, but also gets to really set up boundaries?
I think I just love how radically honest Nicole is. You know, she's just very forthright. It's very simple. Just to any other journalist out there, every time I see the word no nonsense or no bullshit, I brush up against it because I feel like she has far more curiosity and like acceptance than that. Like, you know, when she's like, no, that's fine. Like, if that's the thing, that's the thing. I feel like she meets it. So I'm always surprised that it registers, like her grief registers as this other thing when she's just a woman who's like, really honest.
I want to go back to what we were talking here. Sorry, I'm taking your job.
No, hey, guess what?
We're
We
talking
can
about
always
like
pivot.
oversimplification of the dynamics and relationships, specifically with like Black women. But like that's what I loved about this piece, and that's what like drew me to it. It was Rachel was like, we're not gonna oversimplify it. We're not gonna dumb it down. We're gonna let them have all the colors. And I just love that we have these two people that are on like opposite sides of the spectrum in their experience, but you get to like really feel them moving through this stuff in a really careful way.
André, what was it like working with Steven Soderbergh and making sure that this film gets highlighted? I know he's made sure a lot of indie films get produced, and like, what was that like?
Amazing, man. Steven is like, he and I first built a relationship on a TV show called The Nick that we did together many years ago. And he's been like such a supporter, not only of me, but of so many young filmmakers. And when we sat down with him, whenever that was, over a year ago, 2 years ago, he got it right away and basically said, all right, start tomorrow, and together he and I, put the money together along with a couple of other people to get the movie going. And he's been there every step of the way. He's the kind of person I think we need more of, people who are willing to really support work like this.
Seeing y'all light up talking about this film, it makes me so happy. And I'm gonna say this outright, seeing Black people this happy about a film this rich and this new, a lot of people aren't aware that Black people are definitely having these conversations. What's it like to make a film like this now, especially recently, with all this anti-DEI talk?
I think, what I really think is so important about this film is there's so much depth you can bring to something when you just write a story. And like this story was written by a white man, but then a Black woman's voice, eyes had to come to it. Then this Black man had, and that's where all the depth comes. And there's been a lot of conversation about, you had to take a white script and make it Black. And I'm like, no, we took a script and added the culture of these people. And like, these sort of
specific culture.
Yeah, this specific culture of people is very different if we chose 5 other Black actors from, the diaspora of who we are is so big. And I think that's why American Fiction last year was such a big success, where it was like, what's the artist's struggle? It's simplistic and actually it's universal.
I think also it pushes back on the traditional ideologies of the relationships and what we were taught love was to be from our parents and our grandparents. And like, I feel like we're in that first wave of Black people where we can go, man, I don't have to be with nobody. Even that being on the table, I think is groundbreaking in terms of, if we look at the evolution of what love and the expectations of love are in our society.